As I starting to love and appreciate high-res audio since my Hiby R2 review, I've been curious about the other digital audio players that have been released on the market. Enter the Hidizs AP80, which is the close competitor of the R2. But the question is, can this be a good player too this 2022? Well, we'll find out in this review. Hey guys, James here, your tech buddy, and this is Tech M.N.O. In this video, I will give you my review of Hidizs' most popular digital audio player in the market, and let's see if it's a better choice than the other products that you can find online. Quick story time for you. If you are a long-time subscriber here, I bought, unboxed, and reviewed the Hiby R2 Digital audio player. While there's some imperfections to it, not gonna lie, I really enjoy having it and I always use it in the middle of the pandemic. While I took it with care, there's some issues on the device that's been affecting all users, including me, and that is the bloated substandard battery. To cut the story short, I can't use it anymore since it's out of warranty and Hiby does not provide any spare parts for consumers to buy. In other words, it's useless now and it's going straight to garbage as expected with these Chinese-made products. We will not have an unboxing video for the Hidizs AP80 because I got this as a hand-me-over or second-hand device and the seller does not provide the box or cables to it. Only the silicone jelly case was given to me that is too flimsy. Alright, let's start the review now with the design and build quality. At first glance, it's really a well-built audio player here. The color that I have is in purple or lavender, which has the same color of the aluminum alloy chassis. The edges are rounded, not sharp, and the back panel is made from glass like on the front display. In terms of button and port placements, on the left side is where you can find the micro SD card slot. The right side houses the rotating knob, power button combo, and the media control buttons. The top part is clean, and on the bottom part is where you can find the headphone jack and the USB Type-C port. Well, I like the knob wheel here. It has a satisfying click to it, but the problem is that the clockwise motion is much better than the counterclockwise motion and it has inconsistent action when I use it. While the media controls here are so small that you will never know what button you're pressing, especially when the case is already there too. The screen of the Hidizs AP80 is a 2.45-inch IPS LCD display made by Samsung with a resolution of 480 by 360 pixels. It's vibrant and color accurate and is good and it can be readable outdoors. Though, I will say this right now that the display board of the AP80 is flimsy and you can hear some rattling sounds like this. Also, the bright bezels are quite chunky to look at it also. This is one area that I really don't like about and makes it about the cheap because I can experience some mispress to it and you need to press it really hard to read it properly. So you need to be careful with it because it can be damaged for a longer period of time. This audio player runs an Ingenic X1000 with a ES9218P DAC chip that can go up to 32-bit codec at 384 kHz format with up to DSD128 DAC support. The Hidizs AP80 specifications are quite a mixed bag from my Hiby R2, but we will see that in the sound quality later on. In terms of the software of the Hidizs AP80, it is rocking the same OS as Hiby audio players are using, and it is a Hiby OS version 3.0 that is a Linux-based software. The interface has big icons to it and has two-page setup. The first page is the audio player app, the FM radio, which we'll talk more about later, step counter, Bluetooth settings mode, while on the second page is for the ebook features, system settings, and the about page. While it's on lock mode, you can see the album art and you just need to swipe up to unlock it. Swiping it up again on any screen, we'll see the iPhone style control center, which you can find on the top part, the quick access on Bluetooth, audio gain controls, USB modes if you will put this on your computer or laptop, and then the line out mode if you will put this on a speaker. Below with it is where you can find the brightness slider, media controls, and the volume control. The software version that I have now is in version 2.3, and while I get the hang of it, there are some areas that are a bit confusing to use. For instance, once you turn on the player, you will always go back to the beginning of the track list, even though you will put it on the resume from last position. On the FM radio mode, you cannot edit the placement of the saved radio stations. The UI responsiveness of the software to the volume knob is slow, and some UI elements that are quite strange to see, like merging the repeat tracks and the shuffle modes. I really don't know why some of these Chinese audio brands are using one operating system for their products. I understand that Hiby OS has some features to it like Hiby Link, but they share the same issues that I have in my Hiby R2 audio player. Before we go any further, if you enjoy watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icons to get you notified when a brand new video will come out. And follow us on our social media accounts like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok at tag M.N.O for more content and big giveaways that we can have right now that you can check out in the card right here. Compared to the Hiby R2, the Hidizs AP80 only has a single 3.5mm audio jack, USB-C DAC, and the two-way Bluetooth 4.0 connectivity on top of the microSD card support up to 1TB, which is quite sad that it's the same price as the R2. Though there's some other variants of the AP80 like the AP80 Pro and AP80X, which has wireless streaming options like Tidal and Qobuz. In terms of the audio files and codecs, the AP80 has all of the things you can think of, from MP3, WAV, and up to the high resolution ones like DSF, FLAC, OGG, and the Apple Lossless with the support of SBC, AAC, aptX, LDAC, and DSD codec support. In my almost a month of using this audio player on my Redmi Buds 3 Pro earbuds, my inner monitors, and using my Bluetooth and USB DAC modes, the connection is seamless with the exemption for the Bluetooth mode that some of the times have skipping issues with the audio even though the player and the earbuds is close nearby. In terms of the loading audio files into this audio player, your option is to connect the Hidizs AP80 directly to your computer, or you need to remove the SD card and use the card reader to transfer files, and either on your PC or on your Android device, which, by the way, is not working when I try to connect it directly on my phone via OTG. Since this player does not have Wi-Fi support, wireless file transfer is not available here. Software updates must also be done through manual loading of the firmware from the SD card. Okay, let's talk about the battery life of the Hidizs AP80. It has an 800 mAh battery capacity, and they claim that it can last for a total of 15 hours on a single charge. In my almost 4 weeks of testing though, I can only manage to constantly stretch the audio player for 10 hours with either Bluetooth, DAC mode, or the headphone jack. Charging the player is quite normal and a 5 volts 2 amps power for around 1 hour or so. And now, we will talk about the most important part of the review for the Hidizs AP80, and that is the sound quality. Before we proceeded, I would like to give you a disclaimer that I am not an audiophile and there might be some segments that I won't tackle here. For the equipment that I use in this review, aside from the earbuds I mentioned earlier, I use a KDE-DX Pro, EDC, and EDR1 inner monitors, a Redmi Note 9 Pro, and iPad mini 5 for the devices I use to test the DAC feature. And for the full list of songs I used in this review for your reference, I will provide all of the information in the video description below. Alright, let's start with my test bench song, Don't Start Now, live in LA remix by Dua Lipa in FLAC 96Hz file. The long intro of this song through the Hidizs AP80 is really enjoyable even though the MSEB or the equalizer is turned off. You can hear the separation of different instruments in the song. The bass guitar is prominent, but the piano and violin also stands out in their own respective way. Vocals from the backup singers and Dua herself are crisp and clear. When the equalizer or the MSEB turns on with its default setting, it brightens up the instruments very well. In terms of Beyonce's song Break My Soul in MQA Studio 2444 format, the thumping bass of the song is enjoyable, though it's just right. It has the same sentiments also on Bad Decisions by Benny Blanco featuring BTS in FLAC 1644 format, and Believer by Imagine Dragons in FLAC 2444 format. For some vocal-heavy mellow tracks like Begin Again Taylor's version by Taylor Swift, her voice is clear and crisp to the instruments are trying to overlap it, and the solution is to open the equalizer and adjust some things here. This is the same thing happening with Mirrors by Justin Timberlake in FLAC 2444 format and Memories by Maroon 5 in 1644 format. And finally, for some high rock type songs like Wake Up Call by Maroon 5 in FLAC 1644 format, percussions and drums are present with great tone and great separation. Though you need to lower down your volume to 70% to avoid some tiny distortion in some areas. It's also the same thing with My Heart by Paramore in FLAC 2444 format, which I really like listening to here too on this audio player. Now, I already break it down all for you. The question now is, should you consider buying this right now? At the time of this recording, the Hidizs AP80 retails for $129 or around 7,350 pesos converted. Though it's been always on sale for as low as $118 or around 6,700 pesos. Yes, it does not have a better Bluetooth connection, even Bluetooth 5.0, or have a Wi-Fi connection for Tidal or other iOS streaming services, and even a great battery life. But if you need those things and want to have a nice case to it rather than a cheap, finicky silicone case, then you should look somewhere else like its brother's AP80 Pro or the AP80X. However, if you're a type of audio listener that wants to have a bare bones, no streaming listening, no frills experience without bringing a big or bulky player like the competition, but still have the high-risk things you need with a great soundstage and implementation, then the Hidizs AP80 is a perfect fit for your audio listening needs. Are you an audio enthusiast, and what are your go-to songs here? Let's have a conversation and drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. And for more videos like this, check out my other audio product reviews right here, or if you want to watch my previous video, click right here. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and our second channel. Again, I'm your tech buddy James, and I will catch you guys on the next one.